Greetings from Colorado. This is a quick demo of the IWiss SN-28B ratcheting crimper. We've got three types of connectors, the JST, PH, and VH, those small guys, and the large guys. I've even got some DuPont connectors in there as well. Let's start with the VHs and some 18 gauge silicone wire. This is actually what I use for my hot end heater wire. The crimper is marked on one side with the wire gauge, and the other side doesn't have anything in it. So the thing I always remember is that you always insert the wire on the side that has the wire gauge on it. So we start actually with the crimper this way. You can just take the contact, and since this is a larger wire, we're going to use the largest slot there. When you put the contact in, you can actually get those ears to grab on the stepped portion of the die, and that gets it in exactly the right place. So you get it in there just enough to hold it, then you just flip it around and you slide the wire in from this side, get it past the ears so that you get a good crimp, and then that's it. And we've got a perfect crimp there. I'm going to try and get it focused in a little bit more. You can see the insulation is properly grabbed by the outer set of ears, and the conductor is grabbed by the inner set, and neither of those is deformed, which is good, which means it will slide right into the contact housing without any issues. Now, if you're going to do a smaller gauge wire, this is 18 gauge, no, not 18, I believe it's 20 gauge, I can't tell. It's one of those from, where is it? I can't find it over here. It was from a set of 3 wires that normally come with end stops. You know, it's usually green, blue, and red, or green, black, and red. In any case, it's this guy. And that should work equally well, but in this case, and you can see the ears there, and I'll do it a little bit closer up this time. If you put the contact, put the contact in, we're going to use the middle set here because it's a smaller wire. If you put the contact in and then just pull it outwards a little bit, the ears will grab, and then it's perfectly positioned. Flip it over. Insert the wire, and you're done. And that's another one where the insulation is grabbed by the outer, the conductor is grabbed by the inside, and that's in there pretty securely. If you are worried about using the smaller wires on the larger guys, you can either put some heat shrink tubing, and that actually will give you a little bit of strain relief as well, or you can fold over the conductor. This I stripped longer and then folded it back, and then you can crimp that in there, and that works fine. You can even crimp smaller stuff. This is 24 gauge from a Cat 5 stranded patch cable, and we'll throw that in there. And again, you just put it in there and hook it, close it just enough to grab it. Oops. Oh, it helps if you're not a klutz. Put the cable in. Oops. And there we go. And this one, you know what? I kind of munged this one up. I didn't put it in far enough. But it is still held very tightly and the conductor is crimped in there pretty well. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. But again, if you're concerned, if you need to use the larger connectors with smaller wires, you can either double up the conductor or put some heat shrink over the insulation. This crimper works equally well with the pH contacts, and they can go in either of these two dies depending on the size of the wiring and the insulation. We'll do this on the outside. Again, you can hook it in there. You can feel it's grabbed. Just flip it over. And you're done. And again, that's in there pretty tightly. And let's see if we can get this a little closer. The insulation is crimped correctly. The conductor is crimped correctly, and neither of the crimps are deformed, and that is in there very tightly. And let's see. You know, these guys, you can crimp in these. It's not really recommended, but if you have to, you can. The problem is you have to like spread these ears yourself just to get them wide enough to get the insulation in there. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Any of the smaller wires in these guys is simple. The DuPont connectors, you know, again, they are exactly the same as the other guys. They have the same outer ears. We just put them in here, get them to hook just a little bit, flip them over, insert the wire, and you're done. And again, it's in there really tightly. The outer ears are crimped correctly on the insulation. The inner ones are crimped on the insulation, and nothing is, I don't think anything is deformed. I can't tell. It's too small. But again, it's done. Easy enough. That's it.